Okay, and there we go. Pretty good. So the first step is orientation of the entire puzzle. Where do our centers go? Where do all the other sides go? So that could be a little hard to decipher, but these actually represent the actual centers, the middles of this entire puzzle. Just like with the Siamese cube, it was this. Well, in this case, it's both of these. So I know to line up my whites with this, which means my yellows are going to be lined up just at the opposite. But what goes along in here? Well, that depends upon the number of edges that are correct. So if I surmise that the green is up here, there should be 4 green edges. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this very well could be up here. Okay, so what about the red one here? Well, then I should just have 3 edges. I've got 1, 2, there's one here, 3, 4. Boy, this thing loves to shimmy and shake. So because I have 4, I know it doesn't belong here. It either belongs here or here. So let's just move it out of the way. And I know that the orange one likely has 3 because it's always opposite red. Well, which could be here or here. So what does orange have? Well, there's 1. It should just have 3. We've got 1, 2, 3. So it could very well be here. It could be here or it could be here, either or. Actually, we'll move this back here. So how about the green? How many does green have? 1, 2, 3. So green could very well be here as well. So this might actually be correct. But before we calibrate the rest of the puzzle like that, let's see if this actually makes sense. So among these, I should have an orange and white, which is right here, and then an orange and yellow, which is right here. So that makes sense over here. Down here, I should have a green and white, which is here. Then I should have a green and yellow, which is here. So that makes sense. What about reds? Well, here's a red and blue, which goes up over here. A red and white, which goes over here. A red and yellow, which goes here. And a red and green, which goes here. So this seems to make consistent sense. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to calibrate the rest of the puzzle based on this cube over here. Now I've got to get the blue one over here, and I don't want you to sweat this too much. Here's the blue here. To get this up here, I'm just going to move this out of the way to the front, then move it up and move it back. And you're going to find it'll very quickly fall in line with the rest here. Here's the red, here's the yellow, blue, yellow over here rather. This was orange. Now same thing here. We'll calibrate this. Blue goes up top here. Find the blue, it's over here. So let's bump the white out of the way. Move the blue up. And bump this back. So now this appears to be calibrated. Just to check for sure. 1, 2, 3 blues. 1, 2, 3. Now I've had situations where I would swear that it was correct, but then something ends up wrong. Here's red. There should be 3 reds. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's say that this is correct. So the first step is we want to put in this color over here. Now I want to point out a technique in terms of turning turning edges upside down. So let's say we have this. We have the white and purple. If we want to turn it upside down, all you have to do is hold it here and go like M-I, U, M, U. And we turn that upside down. Should you memorize that? I don't think so. I think you can visualize it. The purpose of an algorithm is if you can't visualize completely what you're doing, but this isn't that hard to do. But let's see if we can't apply that to this. So we have white and green. Find the white and green, it's over here. We've got to move it to the top, which won't be a problem. We'll just do an M, UI, M over here, move it here, and now it's at the top. Now if only I can do an FI, I can turn it over here. But I can't. So I'll have to do a surrogate FI. So we'll move both of these together with a UI, and then we'll do an RI, which brings these to here, and then do a U. So that brings that over here. Now we do it again with a yellow and green. find the yellow and green, right over here. So we move it to the top and move it in. Now you notice it's upside down, so we're going to want to do our quick handy commutator to turn it right side up. We want this color here, yellow, to match this center over here. So that's going to be MI, U, M, U, and there it is, right side up. So now instead of doing an F, we have to do a surrogate F by moving these collectively over here so that I can make that turn. So if you want an algorithm, starting with this as U, we'll go U, L, UI, and we're in. So we've got this in over here. Now you have a choice. You can either go ahead and continue with one cube, or you can do each step individually and match it with each one. I prefer to do it that way because, you know, by the end of it I'll have two solved outer cubes. So let's turn it over here and we'll go ahead and do the same thing. So white and yellow, right over here. So we just move this up, turn, move it down. You can see it's upside down. So we'll do our little commutator, turn the right side up, UI, or rather MI, U, M, U, there it is. Now we'll go U, L, UI, and that's it. Come across over here, yellow and orange, right over here. Now I'm going to be a little clever here, and what I want to do is I want to move this up without turning it upside down. So why don't we just go like this, turn it en bloc, and then I'll go like 2U, and then bring it down. So, you know, time to use algorithms, time to just visualize what you're doing. Now we want to do an FI, we can't, so we'll do our, from this side, UI, RI, U, and we're in over here. Alright, so let's take it back to this portion over here. Now the next part that I want to do is I'm going to do a Quasi F2L. First two layers. What I want to do is I want to move these guys in that order. The reason why I want to do that is from time to time I may need to turn this upside down, but I need one of these two in order to do that. If I put these two in, I won't have any of these available to turn this upside down. So here's what I mean. I want to find the the white and red. White and red. White and red is right over here. So I'm going to want to bring this up. So I'll bring it up, turn, bring it down. Okay, so here this is here. In order to move this down, this white has to line up with this white over here. So we'll do our little flipping commutator here. MI, U, M, U. There it is. Now if only I can do a 2U, I can't unless I do a surrogate. 2F rather, I can't unless I do a surrogate 2F. So bring the whole thing up here, do 2U, and then bring it back down. It's like I did a 2F and I brought it here. Next, come to here. I want the red and blue. Well, it's right here, but it's upside down. If I turn it over here, you can see it doesn't match. So I have to make it right side up. Now you can see why I did not want to put both of these in, because I wouldn't be able to use any of these to turn it right side up. To turn it right side up, let's go for the one that I haven't put in yet. Put it in this position, and then do the little algorithm to flip it. So, MI, U, M, U. It's flipped correctly. Now I can bring this to its respective center, turn it down, and there it is. Now I just put this guy in, yellow and red. Yellow and red, where are you? Right over here. Boy, this thing likes to shake, rattle, and roll. Shimmy and shake. So bring it here. Right over here. So, once again, we can comfortably turn this upside down. M-I-U, M-U. There it is. And now I have to double turn this down. Since we can't, I'm going to do both of these together. Actually, I'm just going to do a M-I, 2U, M, and that'll turn that upside down. Let's shift to this puzzle here and go ahead and do the same thing. Did we put this one in already? Oh, I guess not. Oh, here it is. Okay. So with these in, now I'm going to want to put this one in doing the same thing. So blue and yellow. Right over here, you can see it's in. So we'll go like MI to U, M. That's in. Now here, blue and red. Right here, it's already right side up. So just turn that in. Next we have this guy here. White and blue. There it is. MI to U, M, and we got it. Okay, so we have our bottom cross, so to speak. So let's shift back to here. Oh, okay. All right, so now we go back to this this cube over here. We've got our cross here too. The next part is getting our corners. We're going to get our corners as we're doing the first layer over here. So we're looking for the red, white, and blue. Very patriotic. Right over here. To put this in, you put this in exactly like we did with the Rubik's Cube, doing a series of moves like that. R, U, R, I. So here, R, U, it would be R, I, but it doesn't fit, so we'll bring it back. We're just rolling it in Rubik's Cube style. There it is here. Now we transition to this side, red, blue, and yellow. Red, blue, and yellow. It's actually already over here, so move it out. And now we just roll it in. There it is there. Might as well do this part here as well. Yellow, blue, and red. Looks like it's here, so let's put this one in. White, blue, and red. Another red, white, and blue. Right here. And turn. Okay? And now we roll this part in. Hope I'm not moving too fast, but this is just Rubik's Cube technique. So there it is here. Let's transition back to this puzzle. Okay, so now we need to put these two in. To put these two in, I'm going to use exactly the same algorithm as I did with this. To put this to this side, the green and red, if I wanted to put this here, from top to right, that's going to be UI, U, R, UI, RI, U, FI, UI, F, and then put that over here. So it's really going to be exactly the same thing. So it's really going to be exactly the same thing. But we have to do a little bit of a twist. It called for an F move. I can't do an F move. So I'm going to do the surrogate F move. My surrogate F move is to move all of these up, both of these collectively, then do an F, only in this case it's U, and then bring it down. That's my surrogate F move. Now here's where it gets a little complicated. It's actually it's easier than you might think, but it takes some concentration. So let's say we wanted to move these guys in. I'm looking for the white and blue, and it's right over here. Now in an ideal world, you need to bring it over here to move it down. You can't do it from here, it's just not going to work. So how am I going to take this and move it down here? Well, the first thing you have to understand is you can't do it facing this side. Do we try to flip it? Nah, don't do that. Just bring the whole thing over here. So if this were white that was down, you'd move it here. If it's here, then basically to move it down here, we have to move it back to this level. So as long as you have it to where it's not in the middle like this. And it's the same algorithm as though you're flipping from here to here. Just remember to do an F by moving it up here first. So in this case, and again it's going to take some concentration, but it's not a new algorithm, you do UI, LI, U, L, U, and because I can't do an FI, I move it up here and do FI, move it down, and then UI, and now I need to do an F, bring it down here, do my F here, and then bring it down. And that actually brought it down to here. Now I can move this whole thing over, and there it is over here. That was the end result. So let's practice that again. I'm looking for the blue and yellow. It's here, unfortunately, so I got to move this here. To bring this down to here, I'm going to move the entire thing here so that I can make use of this, and then do that same algorithm to bring it down to the right. U, R, UI, RI, U, I need to do an Fi, so my surrogate Fi is bring it up, that's my Fi, and bring it down, then U, then I need to do an F, up, down, and across. By up, down, and across, what I meant is you bring it up, do your F over here, and then bring it down. So now this is all lined up, and we move it back. So you can see we've got our second layer. Let's practice again over here. So in this case, this is a situation here where I've got the yellow. I need to find a yellow and red. Right over here. Unfortunately, it's the same thing. This is here. I need to bring it down to here. So let's move this like so. And now we do that algorithm. Again, unfortunately, we didn't have an example where, say, the white one was here. But we're going to bring this here and go ahead and do that. U, I, L, I, U, L, U. Now we do our surrogate Fi by bringing it up here, Fi and down. Then UI. Then we do our surrogate F, bang, zoom, pow, and it's in. And there it is. This one just happened to be in over here. Alright, so we have the first two layers here. Let's just take this on back. So now what we need to do is we need to get the top layer. So how are we going to do that? Well, it's the same way. We're looking to permute, actually we're looking to orient the edges. In this case, to orient the edges on the Rubik's Cube, I did the F, R, U, R, I, U, I, F, I. And I look for an L, or a line, or a dot. If I see the L, I do it again, it'll be the line, F, R, U, R, I, U, I, F, I. There's the line, one more, F, R, U, R, I, U, I, F, I, and I'll have my cross. Well, this is exactly the same thing, I'm happy to point out. This is my line, so I need to do my surrogate F, R, U, R, I, U, I, F, I. The surrogate F, this way, is bring it up, do my F from here, and bring it down. So that's F, then R, U, R, I, U, I, then I do my surrogate Fi, bring it up, do my Fi, bring it down, and there's my cross. Let's practice it with this one here. Well, we don't need to, it's already in. But it's really the same kind of thing. So now the next step, normally what I would do is I would permute these edges with RU, RIU, R2U, RI. But I can't do that with this one. What I now want to do is I want to orient the corners. Now how am I going to do that? The way that I oriented the corners on a Rubik's Cube here, 3x3, is I found one that's in, and then I'd first have to coordinate it to where it's supposed to be, and then I would do RIUI, RU. Well, here's the good news. In order to do this step, you're going to be doing the same algorithm, RU, RIU, R2U, RI, but not for the purposes of permuting the edges. This is for the purposes of orienting the corners. And here's what you're going to want to do. You're going to want to line it up. If you get this configuration, and you can just play around with it actually, if you get this configuration, turn it like this so that one that's out is on the right and this one is on the left, and just do the RU, RIU, R2U, RI. This is what you're looking for. This is what you'd end up with. 3 out and 1 in. When you have this, turn it to where the one that's in is to the left and one that's out is to the right. So it's going to be in this position, and do it again. RU, RIU, R2U, RI. You can see that that didn't quite come in, so just do it again. And you keep doing it until it's correct. RU, RIU, R2U, RI. And eventually, you'll get it. It's all in. Then what you have is you have classic permuting issues here. We'll line up all of our corners. So once you have this in, now it's just a matter of edge swaps. Adjacent and opposite edge swaps. So these two can swap. 2RU, 2RU, 2R2U, 2R2U, 2RU, 2RUI, 2R. That's in. Next we just do these two. 2RU, 2RU, 2R2U, 2R2U, 2RU, 2RUI, 2R, and you've done it. So now let's see if we can come about the same dumb luck with this one. You see these are already in. These are already permuted to where they need to be. So looking at this, to permute the corners here, this is a configuration that we've not seen. So I'm just going to pick a random one and just do the RU, RIU, R2U, RI. RU, RIU, R2U, RI. So we have this familiar configuration, so I'm going to line it up to here. RU, RIU, R2U, RI. This is what I want. Bring this to here so that this is to the left, this is here to the right. RU, RIU, R2U, RI. Not quite in. Move it here, do it again. 2U, RI, and bang. Okay, now all we have are these guys to do, so we can do edge swaps. Now, you can also practice your U-perm, because if I hold it here and I do a U-perm, it'll take 2 U-perms. This will come here, this will come here, this will come here, and I'd have to do it twice. But just in the interest of not memorizing something new, 2RU, 2RU, 2R, 2U, 2R, 2U, 2RUI, 2R. These two get swapped. And we've done it. Okay, now, the moment most of you have been waiting for. The infamous middle segment, middle edge.